What's up, Motor Breakers? No Policies here, and today I am here with the Competitive Showdown League CSL Week 1 Weekly Recap. Hopefully you guys are excited because it's Week 1. We're done with Week 1 of Season 8. Gosh. Okay, well, it felt like just yesterday that this season just started, which it was pretty soon. It was pretty recent. It was week 1, you know, beginning of Week 1. It was about a week ago. Hopefully you guys like this, little thing I made. I really love the shuffle icons. You'll see a theme throughout that video, so anyway, let's get into the weekly recap, no need to delay. So let's get right into it. So firstly, our first match of the week was quite a controversial one. It's going to be the Tampa Tyranitar versus the Detroit Pyroar. Now, the Detroit Pyroar did pick up a 3-0. It's kind of odd how this kind of works. Essentially, in the battle, it played out as normal. Zwoops of the Detroit Pyroar looked like they were kind of maybe not really in a tough spot, but looks like they were going to maybe clinch out a really close victory, maybe a really close loss. Doesn't really matter. Either way, in the end, Zwoops of the Detroit Pyroar was in against the Tapu Koko with a V Koval +2. And what happened was the V Koval took out the Tapu Koko. The Tampa Tyranitar kind of got switched around with Tangrowth to get Regenerator so that it could live a Bug Buzz. And then it went into Tangrowth at full HP, lived a Bug Buzz, knocked off, I think, and I don't know if that was like, or, yeah. No, because there was a bug memory. That was it. So, essentially what happened was, Zwoops the Detroit Pyroar accidentally put a bug memory instead of a bug DMZ, which would have won her the game. However, instead, because she didn't have bug DMZ, she couldn't kill the Tangrowth, and the Tangrowth was able to kill the V Koval, and I don't know what the real outcome after that was, but pretty much in the way that they made that up, they replayed the game until the bug DMZ part, and I'm pretty sure Zwoops got a 3-0, which is why it's 0-3. But it's weird because what happens is if the Tampa Tyranitar need to get into playoffs and this match is the deciding factor, then it will change to a 0-1. Like if it's important to playoffs. But honestly, the Tampa Tyranitar did not play this game badly. I think they played as well as they possibly could. I just think they were kind of under-prepped for just a lot of speed sweepers. But also, Zwoops just played the better game in general. She had better prep. She had a little bit of a better game. Not knocking off, but chipping down the Alakazam, getting that chip damage with Infernape was so pivotal because if that had not happened, then V Koval would not be able to kill. I don't know if the Tampa Tyranitar had a Focus Sash to Alakazam, but usually it's ran Focus Sash, so I assume that if it was Focus Sash, Zwoops sacking Infernape and getting that Mach Punch off was critical in order for V Koval to sweep in the end. And Rhyperior even got a few good licks in. Had Fire Punch to ensure that Scizor did not switch in. Or Tangrowth. I think it was because of Tangrowth. I think that was why he was going for a Fire Punch instead of Earthquake, because, you know, losing, just Fire Punching is probably just a better play, because you Earthquake, and then, you know, Tangrowth comes in, and then it can, you know, live a Fire Punch, and then it can just go on and pretty much just kill the Rhyperior, and no damage is really done, because then it can just Regenerator. But honestly, I don't think the Tyranitar played a bad game at all. I think that their game was quite good, honestly. They made the switches they need to, and they just, unfortunately, were underprepared for things like Agility, V Koval, and Rock Polish Rhyperior. But I definitely think that V Koval put in a lot more work than thought out at first. Next up, we have the Chicago Bouffalants versus the San Antonio Espers. Another really, really close game. In the beginning, the Bouffalants kind of were a little bit behind the A game. The Espers kind of just came out really strong, pushing a lot of offense and defense kind of in the same regard, you know, bringing out mons like Clefairy to kind of stop things like Heracross, Calm Mind Latios stopped by Chansey. I don't really get Calm Mind Latios because at the same time, Chansey could literally just come in and wall it, so I don't really get that, but I don't know. It was kind of weird to me, but maybe Todd had a plan. Not really sure, but the mid-game, the Bouffalants, after getting rid of the Delphox, which was quite a big threat, getting the Z Sunny Day up and outspeeding a Choice Scarf or potential Choice Scarf, Krookodile, things like that. After getting rid of that, it was able to, the Bouffalants were able to really just get a lot of pressure on the Espers team, and Milotic putting in so much work and really allowing the Bouffalants team to apply tremendous amount of pressure on the Espers. However, as you can see from the differential, the Espers did end up pulling out a very, very close victory against the Bouffalants, 1-0, and that 1-0 is definitely a very good representation of this battle, because in the end, the Espers played phenomenally. I think this is one of the best performances we've seen from the Espers to date in the CSL, because what they did was they essentially did what they had to win, and they PP stalled the Milotic's recovers out so that it could not wall things like Suicune, and Suicune could wall the thing with pressure and just all that jazz. And Clefairy coming in, making a few questionable plays, you know, knocking off like the Flame Orb on Milotic, but in the end, the Bouffalants really just got outplayed this match. Like, they made good plays. I think the Bouffalants definitely had the beginning game. And at the end, I think the end game was great for the Espers. Cool Me Down B, Colin just played really well in order to win. And it just goes to show how you don't play stall unless you want to get stalled back. And really, in the end, it came down to Hitmonchan and Zangoose, and just Zangoose and Hitmonchan could not kill the other, and Zangoose just ended up dying to its own toxic poison in the end. And honestly, I think it was a great performance by the Espers. The Bouffalants played well. I just think that the Espers capitalized on some of the Bouffalants' team and successfully was able to wall them out and beat them on exactly 100 turns, which I think is awesome. But anyway, moving on, we have the Boston Bisharps versus the Miami Heatmore. Another quite a controversial match, but, you know, it wasn't really controversial, more so kind of hacksy. Very hacksy indeed. I feel bad for the Boston Bisharps, but a win is a win regardless, the hacks or not. Either way, you can see from the team layout, the Boston Bisharps had things like Meltank, where to get up rocks. And the battle starts out with Meltank versus Landorus. Pretty much my Meltank just sets up rocks. Landorus goes for superpower. Good prep. I mean, I guess superpower is just there for the Meltank, I guess. I mean, maybe for like Abomasnow and a potential maybe Avalugg, but superpower is there, and pretty much the Bisharps are able to break the Landorus' Yachi, all that jazz. The Heatmore successfully are able to get rocks off the field, which is very pivotal on a team like this. If you have things like Mega Charizard Y, Sneasel, even things like Landorus, Incarnate, those really, really need rocks off the field in order to operate. That chip damage is very, very harmful, especially to things like Charizard Y. And he successfully was able to do that in using Defog Mew, and the Bisharps losing their Meltank in the mid-game definitely made it so that the Heatmore were able to get rid of hazards for good and make sure that they were not able to come back. The hacks really kind of started with, I would say, probably around when Wishy-Washy burned the Mew. Now, you may be like, well, that's not really hacks. Well, at the same time, or it's not hacks on the Bisharp side, but the Wishy-Washy goes for a Scald, burns the Mew, and in return burns the Wishy-Washy back because it's synchronized. So that sucks. The Mew doesn't really get affected by that, but the Wishy-Washy sucks to be burned because things like U-Turn are going to hit so much less hard, and, you know, Mew's just going to take those hits so much better. and able to defog really freely. After that, I would say probably the most pivotal point in the match for the ensuring the Heatmore's victory was the Terrakion against Druddigon, I think was... I'd have to look back in the match, but there's a lot of hacks. One of the more unfortunate things for the Bisharps was the fact that they really kind of just got crit a lot. They got crit with an Aqua Tail. They get a low roll with HP guys against the Druddigon, which sucks because Druddigon ended up putting so much work in this match. I think Kraken Nation played this game fine. I think Inversify of the Miami Heatmores also played this game fine, but at the same time, I think Kraken Nation did out-prep him. And it was really the fact of hacks, because he made great plays, like predicting HP ice was pretty... I mean, it was obvious, but, you know, it's still a good play nevertheless. And then getting that low roll really sucks. I mean, it was kind of a high low roll kind of thing, but getting 2 mid rolls would have been great for him, because I think I still could have killed. And then he ended up losing Jolteon, which really sucks, because Jolteon outspeeded his entire team. So, kind of sucks there, and it really put in a lot of work. I mean, so... And even then, after that, he still could have won with Terrakion and SDing. But, unfortunately, the Druddigon gets a crit with Aqua Tail, goes for SD, and misses a Stone Edge, which apparently it was Zoom Lens, which was really, really bad for Kraken Nation, because Stone Edge plus Zoom Lens, I believe, is 96% accurate, so that's really sucks. And that really allowed Inversify of the Miami Heatmores to really just get... Oh, no, it wasn't Sword Dance, my bad. It was Rock Polish, which allowed him to outspeed Sneasel. And apparently, from the range that he was at, he could not die to... He couldn't die to an Ice Shard from Sneasel. So pretty much he won the game from there. I'm pretty sure he probably had like Aerial Ace or Zen Headbutt for the Victory Bell. And maybe like some... I mean, I don't know if Stone Edge would have killed, but the Landorus. Regardless, still, Inversify was able to pull through this match by using just Sucker Punch, critting with Landorus at the end with Earthquake. It really sucks what happened with Kraken Nation. I think Inversified played fine, but I think the Boston Bisharps definitely had this match. If not, maybe it would have been a 2-0, 3-0. But, I don't know. I mean, I think they both played great matches. I just think Boston Bisharps just unfortunately got the butt end of hacks this match. And that's alright. That is, of course, I know this. People say this a lot, but it is the game we play. It is a very luck-based game. So, it's unfortunate, but it's what happens. Anyway, here's my match versus the NJ Flabebe. And I'll say straight up, I played horribly this match. The Flabebe didn't really make any huge plays. They really just played well in general. They didn't make like any outstanding plays to win. I just played really badly, which ensured that the NJ Flabebe would get a 6-0. I don't want to talk too much about it just because I don't want to sound too biased. Yeah, myself definitely could have maybe, let's see. Bad lead matchup definitely sucks. Maybe could have stayed in, get up rocks. That would have been very good because there would have been no removing those hazards since he did not bring the Tentacruel, which is his only form of hazard removal. And I could have lived a Thunderbolt. Even, I think, a modest-natured one. So, I don't really know. But I honestly think I played this game horribly. And really getting all my mons I could deal with Quagsire weakened and just defeated allowed Quagsire to just come in and take out the rest of my team. So, Pangoro also was kind of under-prepped for on my part. So, all in all, I think it was a pretty poorly played game on my part. And hopefully, we can bounce back next week. But that's really it. NJ Flabebe played very well. And I played pretty poorly. So, not going to talk too much about it. I think I went into enough detail in my my video that I went over my week one battle. So, anyway, moving on. The LA Reshiram versus the Zion Zards. Now, this match was a very fast-paced one. It was one that literally happened right before my own match. And it was quite a good one, I would say. I think it was quite a good match. Both teams played pretty well. And honestly, it was just an all-around match. But the Absol the crit on Absol kind of sucks, but it is good prep on the Zard's part to have X-Scissor Necrozma. Really good on their part. It did suck for the crit. I don't think the crit mattered too much in the long run because it really wasn't... I don't know. Apparently it mattered, but I don't know. Could have just come in and... I mean, it really wouldn't have done much damage anyway. Like a Crunch or a... I don't even know. Sucker Punch, maybe. Just any Dark Stab really wouldn't have done too much because of Necrozma's ability. I think it's... What is it? I don't even know. Whatever ability, like, stops super effective moves. It's not Filter, but... Either way. Yeah. Mega Absol dying isn't the biggest deal in the world. It means it's Mega Absol. I personally don't think it's a very good mon. The LA Reshrooms did have a few close moments. They did almost get a Gyarados sweep if it wasn't for Extreme Speed Raichu, which is great prep. Great prep on the Zard's part. I don't know why they ran it, but it worked out for them. So, Boomer Swallow also putting a ton of work in this match. Because it killed Necrozma. It got a lot of damage off onto Charizard X. And the LA Rush Rams didn't play this game poorly. I think it was just a very fast-paced match. And honestly, the prep on the Zard's part really just won them the game. I think that was a great play on the Rush Rams part to go for Memento with Whimsicott. And go into Gyarados and get a Dragon Dance up and potentially sweep. Going into Cofagrigus, it got 2 Dragon Dances up. Because Cofagrigus did have Shockwave, which was good, again, also good move on the Zard's part. And, you know, then Gyarados also having, what is it? Oh, Hydra Vortex, there we go. So, without the extreme speed damage, the Zion's Arts probably would have lost to Gyarados. But luckily they had Ice Shard and just all of the things they needed to win. So honestly, the LA Rush Rams played fine this match. Zard just had better prep. And honestly, that's really it. I wouldn't even say better prep. They just had the prep that beat this team a lot better. So anyway, moving on. We have the BC Bastiodons versus the Westerville Wailords. This match is interesting because it really just is a game of Tapu Fini coming in, taunting a lot of the Wish Passers on the Wailords team, and just kind of stopping them in their tracks from getting really anywhere. Kind of annoying for the Wailords part. I don't think the Wailords played bad. I think they made a lot of good plays, like going for, I think it was either Fire Punch on Machamp on the predicted Scizor switch, which was a great play. I think the BC Bastiodons just really were able to capitalize on the weakened state of the Wailords team and use Minior to sweep the team, which really sucks for the Wailords because they used knowing James personally, one of his favorite mons is Minior, so getting swept by it really has to suck. Yeah. But I do think James really played the Flygon really well because it really just allowed a lot of momentum. Because, you know, bringing Kieran Black, you know, you get that U-turn off and just like, boom, like, dang, now I'm back at square one. It was really just annoying for James. If he won this game, I would have, like, phenomenal. Because the BC Bastiodons just had so much more, like, momentum. Because they could, like, come in with Tapu Fini, like, you know, maybe there's a Komal out in the field, just taunt it, then it can't heal up anymore, and then your Nature's Madness, boom, bada bing, bada boom. BC Bastiodons played this game well. They just predicted James like a book, and James was just not able to get any opportunity to take down a lot of the big mons on the Bastiodons team, and that allowed for Minior to sweep because of the kind of weakened state. So it's really not much to say. Smeargle's kind of odd. I don't know if... I mean, Sticky Webs is kind of cool, but I don't know if it was really necessary because things like Flygon are immune to sticky webs. Maybe for like Nihilego. I don't know. But either way, kind of an interesting match right here. I don't think either of them played awful at all. I just think that James is really underprepped for Tapu Fini and Taunt. And just Claydol and just that entire core in general was kind of underprepared for it. But that's alright. We learned from our mistakes. Hopefully he can come back next week. Because, again, I don't think he played badly. I think it was just underprep on him. Anyway, Washington Weavils versus the Los Angeles Crypt Res. And oh boy, are they the Crypt Res this week. Because they got a lot of crits. I don't know the exact number of how many crits they got. But they got a lot. To put into perspective, I think it was like turn 12 and they already had like 10 crits. That is insane. That's probably the most crits I've ever seen in a game. And to have it this close is just crazy to me. Honestly, I wouldn't even say either of them really played phenomenally. I think Dub had a few good moments. I think the Crypt Res had a few good moments. And honestly, it was really just a back and forth of kind of just sacking them on, and then bringing a really monstrous mon in, and then just taking it out, or the next mon out, bringing the next mon in, blah, da, blah, da, blah, da, blah, da, blah. The crits do suck. I don't think all of them matter, but I do think a few matter, especially like the circle throw crit on Mawile definitely sucks from throw, because that really severely weakened the Mawile. Leaving it at a really low point of HP, kind of meaning that Dub had to sack it, in which it could have probably gotten a huge, tremendous amount of damage on a lot of things. It's unfortunate. I think having like speed support or tailwind support would have been great for Mawile, because a lot of the Crypt Res team outsped Mawile, so I don't really know how effective it really could have been. But then again, it could have been a lot better in taking on things like Audino, Throw, just in general. Really, really unfortunate for the Weavils for how many times they were crit. I do think they still played a pretty good game. Especially endgame, kind of like lowering the differential as much as they possibly could. Yeah, they really couldn't do too much at the end after getting weakened. I do think the Crypt Res, though, did play quite well in some scenarios, because kind of bringing in Greninja, kind of playing around that, and so ensuring that Greninja didn't potentially sweep the rest of its team, because Greninja could have definitely done that. And that was a big problem for the Crypt Res team. So, playing around that is, I applaud Damon for doing that. So, anyway, the Chinuchi Dragonair versus the Memphis Mamoswines. Now, Chinuchi Dragonair have not been in the CSL since, I think, Season 6. I think. That or Season 5. One of them, she went... The Swablu went, I think it was 0-12. Yeah, so not the best record. And unfortunately, they did suffer another loss. So they weren't really able to redeem themselves from that record from prior seasons. But I do have faith that they can. Kind of an interesting team. You do see things like Altaria brought. I don't know how effective that really could have been. I don't know why it was really brought, because it's really kind of like... destroyed by just a lot of mods. Maybe switching in like Darmanitan, taking on Goodra. I don't really know. But this match was kind of interesting. It was really the Mamoswines did play this match pretty well, I will say. It was really kind of a game of switches, honestly, because yeah. Like, just a lot of double switching around. Golbat was played really well, I think. Even though it really looks like it would have an awful matchup this match. Really all it hits is like Galate. Well, I would say really all. It hits Roserade, Keldeo, and the Gallade. But it also gets kind of hard-walled by Steelix and Registeel. So kind of interesting there how MN was able to play around that. But, you know... It was kind of interesting, you know, like I said, Altaria was brought. Tapu Lele actually getting maybe a few kills this match. But yeah, Golbat was able to kind of just put in a little bit of work, taking out the Gallade. And then from there, it was really just Tapu Lele kind of just getting a few kills. Alola coming in to wall a few hits, and just switching in and out, and then... it was really interesting. Yeah. But, I mean, there was quite a bit of playing around. I don't think Swablu's played awfully. I think they had good prep. Like, Twinkle Tackle Rose Raid was really cool. I guess it probably could have had more oomph because it didn't kill, which kind of sucks. But then again, the Ant-Man probably still would have won. But either way, not really bad playing on the Dragonite's part. But really, Ant-Man played a great game. One of the greatest games I've seen from him. Kind of switching in and out of Mons in order to preserve differential and in order to get that 4-0. So him being one of the top players in the entire season so far. So good on him. That's going a little too far, but one of the most hyped matches. That's wrong. It's not 4-0, it's 1-0. I don't know why it says 4-0, but one of the most hyped matches this week. Probably the most hyped match, in my opinion. Just because this was the last season's finals. Wild Chargers were not going to be in this season, but they did replace the Macargo Tel Aviv. So, good on Ryalize for coming back. Really happy to see him back. And 1-0 victory, and it wasn't in the Calgary Hydra Can's favor. I don't know what's going on with this, but it's a great match, I will say. Great prep on the Wild Chargers' part. It was really back and forth all around. It was kind of just starting off the match with a kind of a weird turn of events. Like, so Ryalize coming in with Medicham, being a really underrated Mon in my opinion. I was actually going to draft it this season, but it did use Fake Out to kind of chip down the Galvantula, break its potential sash. And then it went for Magic Coat, which of course is for Sticky Webs. That's very obvious. It was just kind of weird because then Abda went for Thunder. Just didn't really work out for Ryalize. But it turns out it was a Life Orb Galvantula, so it was more offensive. And so Kiram comes in, and Kiram just deals damage. That's really what it's meant to do. Conkeldurr also put in a weird amount of work because usually I don't see Conkeldurr putting in that much work. And honestly, it was really just a back and forth, honestly, because of course Medicham was taken out first, and then it was just momentum on Abda's side. Ryalize kind of switching up his switch-ins to things like Conkeldurr to kind of show that, hey, I'm not going to have the same game plan. Really, it was kind of a back and forth. And honestly, it was, you know, like I said, back and forth, and back and forth. Until really, I would say about, it was really when the Cresselia came in. Now, Ryalize, I didn't know what he was doing, because for those of you who know, he made a phenomenal play. What he did was, he essentially allowed Cresselia to set up to +4 with Coal Mines. And with this, Cresselia, he just kept Earth Powering. I was like, why is he going for Earth Power? Why is he going for Earth Power? And then he brings in Manaphy, and he goes for Heart Swap. Great prep. That is phenomenal prep. That is probably the best play of the week. I don't care how, obvious it could have been. I thought that was amazing. I think it was perfectly set up in allowing Cresselia to set up, bring in Manaphy, Heart Swap, and then boom. Just decimate the rest of his team. I wouldn't say decimate, though, because, he didn't decimate him. But, sub Manaphy just kind of was like, oh man, that's really, that's kind of bad. But what Abda did, he actually really played well in order to kind of preserve differential. is he volt switched out of Galvantula, sacked off Sandslash, and then went in and Thunder parried the Manaphy, which was amazing because at that point, now Decidueye comes in and Leaf Blaze. Was kind of hacksy, so, I mean, not really there, but it did make the match a lot more suspenseful, especially since Decidueye could have been running HP Fire for the Fortress, which would have been really bad for Rylai's and would have lost him the game. However, luckily for him, he was not running HP Fire, and he was able to win a clutch 1-0 victory over the Calgary Hydro Cannon. So, with that, we go to our last match, being the Vancouver Goldust versus the Charleston Kindlers. Now, I'm going to go kind of fast since this video has been pretty long, but all in all, this match was kind of a weird match because it involved a little bit of speed passing, but kind of a odd move, like just odd plays. So, Jatan leads with Hydra, gets a Focus Blast off, and kind of gets it really unnecessarily chipped down. I don't really agree with that play because he also was risking Snorlax going for something like a Curse, going for maybe a Body Slam, parrying it. That would have been bad. Missing a Focus Blast, there's just a lot of things that could have gone wrong there. And essentially, Hydreigon did get whittled down, but it isn't that big of a deal because of the fact that Hydreigon was running Roost, as we saw later in the game. However, things like Chestnut, there was kind of a weird turn of events because apparently Jatan was supposed to be running Salak Berry on his Chestnut, but wasn't. I really don't get the thing there, but either way, it turned out in Ewok's favor because he wasn't running Salak Berry. I think he was running like Yachi Berry. That's what he was running. So, running Yachi Berry, not Salak Berry. Salak Berry would have won him the game, but unfortunately for him, what happened was Bronzong was able to live a Drain Punch from a belly drummed up Chestnut, and with that, allowed the Bronzong to get off his Zen Headbutt to put it in range. I don't even know if it was really in range. I'm pretty sure Salazzle would have killed it, but maybe, I don't know. Maybe not risking Okaberry. But essentially what happened was Salazzle was able to kind of clean late game and, well, not clean, but kind of snag a few kills. And Blastoise was really pivotal. Speed Pass was kind of underutilized, I feel, on Jatan's part. Because, you know, Magearna, things like that, could have definitely utilized from that. And maybe Xurkitree too. So, I really don't know because Speed Pass could have allowed him to really kind of deal with things like Salazzle. But, no, just didn't. But yeah. So, anyway, unfortunately, Combusken, while it put in a good amount of work this match, I think it was kind of underutilized by the Goldust. I don't think Jatan played bad. I think there was kind of just misprep on his part. I don't really think that it's fair to Ewok, though, to give a rematch because of Salak not having Salak Berry. I think that's kind of the player's fault for not having that because, you know, you definitely could have checked your team. I don't know. But either way, I think the Kindlers played a great match. They had good prep, too. I think they had things like Go-Goat, which was really cool, I think. Grass Pelt, I think it has, like, some weird ability named Grass Pelt or something. I don't know. But, anyway, yeah. But that's going to be our weekly recap for this week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did like what you saw, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Hopefully I can do this every week. I don't think I will be, though. I can try. It's going to be difficult. But I really like doing these, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I really like making the layouts, too. I really, really am proud of them. I mean, there's a few. That's just not what we're supposed to be looking at. But things like, yeah, I like the layouts. They're just looking really clean. I love the shuffle icons. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I will see you guys in a few days when I do my week 2 battle against the Chicago Bouffalants. And I'll be back with you maybe soon, maybe a week. I'll be done with school by Friday, so hopefully, yeah, that'll be good. Anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys